with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me. You're here with me. You could be around with me. You could be with anyone. I could be with anyone. You're here with me.
Now, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the two members of the cast from Love After Lockup. The two folks I'm talking about is Michael and Justine, aka Montana Mills and Juju, or Montana Mills and Queen Juju, because she's a rapper now. Now, one of the things that kind of bugs me a little bit with the way that they're coming out and the way that they try to present themselves on the show versus the music that they're producing is that it doesn't make sense. During the time that you're on the show, you reveal that you're a family man, you're dedicated to your wife, you're dedicated to your kids, you want to spend time with your kids, and all the things that, you know, basically creating that Leave It to Beaver, June Cleaver type life, where you have the white picket fence and the big old house. Juju wanted to move into $1 million mansion over in Las Vegas. You guys got yourself a little piece of property. The funny thing is that you guys come out and the first thing you want to start rapping and singing about is crime and criminal stuff, shooting people and laying people out. To me, that's ridiculous. The market itself is oversaturated with gangster rap. You don't need to come out and start singing gangster rap, especially when you don't fit into that category of genre. Let's be honest. Nobody wants to hear a middle-aged man and his mama and his wife talking about going out, laying people down, and moving product. That's ridiculous. That's nothing to aspire to. If anything, and I invite either Juju or Montana, reach out to me and we could have the conversation. I could set it up. We could do a live. We could have the whole conversation, debate, discussion, however you want to do it. I'm down for it. Because when push comes down to shove, bro, all I'm saying to you is I think that you could make music, but why not make music that talks about your life? Why not make music to open up people's eyes? Make music about the show that you're on, which is Love After Lockup. You've been away from your family for 10 years, 15 years. You haven't seen your kids grow up. You had 2 kids while you were in prison. You didn't even get to see, from what I understand, you didn't even get to see one of your kids be born because you were locked up. And they were like a month apart, like your 2 kids a month apart, beat up baby mamas. That's fine. Okay, fine. You were living that life. You got locked up. You got caught up. But now that you're out, you have a different story. And you can sing about the things that you know. What you know is that while you were locked up, you suffered a great deal because you were away from your kids and you were away from your family. Your father couldn't even come and visit you because it broke his heart to see you locked down like that in that cage. And so what you're doing is when you get out, the first thing you want to do is start singing about a song and popularizing a thing that just held you down for that long. The reality of it is, bro, you're a grown-ass man and you have to call another man to ask him if you can leave the state. If you want to go somewhere, you have to call somebody and ask permission. That's the realities of the gangster shit that you're talking about on your record. When you're talking about this gangster stuff, that's the realities of it. You have kids that you don't get to be a part of their life. You have your family members you don't get to be a part of their life. There's a lot of people who go to prison each year and something happened to their moms, their dads, their family members. They get sick, they die, and they're stuck in that hole. They're stuck in that cell, and they don't get to go and see they don't get to put their mom in the ground. And this is one of the things that you could talk about on your rap records. Talk about the heartbreak and the loss of losing that much time out of your life by chasing after that dollar. As I've said on this channel before, every dollar ain't good money. All money isn't good money. Every dollar isn't a good dollar. And when you chase after that dollar and you don't care where it comes from, you have to keep in mind that when you get yourself into the system, like I said before, you have to ask permission to be able to where you can live, where you can stay, who you can stay with, who you can associate with. When can you leave? When do you have to come back? You always have to call and ask permission. And these people have you under their thumb now. And you're not singing about that. You're still propagating a lie. That this lifestyle is easy, this lifestyle is glamorous when it is not. And you could create a lane for yourself because nobody else is talking about it. And you're in a unique position where you can talk about, yeah, I was doing the wrong thing. I went to jail. I went to prison. I was away from my family. I was away from this. I lost this. This is what I lost. And this is what it was like for me being in there every day, scared that something was going to happen to me, or scared that something was going to happen to one of my kids on the outside and I wasn't going to be able to do nothing about it. You couldn't even be there for your child. If something were to happen to you, you have a daughter. If something were to happen to your daughter, walking home from school or whatever the case may be, you couldn't pull up and ask her what's going on, give her a hug and let her know what's happening. All you can do is sit on the phone with her and cry with her. And that's what you're going to tell people is a great thing? There was something that was profound that was said by one of the, I won't say the street gang name, but there was a gang member who was talking about these rappers and famous people after they get rich and famous and they have this whole entertainment career coming back and trying to be a part of these particular street gangs. And one of the guys made an excellent point, something I've been saying for years. When you are living that lifestyle, you live that lifestyle because you have to. There's not a person who's pushing these streets and pushing these blocks and holding down corners who wouldn't change places with Jay-Z, 50 Cent, Eminem, or any of these people. Weezy, Birdman. There's not a person on these blocks who wouldn't change that. The only reason they on that block is because they're trying to hold it down because they live in that area. They grew up in it. And this is something that they had to do in order to survive. They didn't grow up and like Ja Rule, grow up as a as a Jehovah's Witness and went to private school their whole life and then all of a sudden get out and all of a sudden they want to start talking gangsta and put flags in their pockets. Because that's not his life. That was a choice that he made. And the people who are in this situation and living that life, they would, if you gave them the opportunity, if you said to them, man, I'm going to give you X amount of dollars. You can move out of here, take your family with you. You can live in a big old house. You could send your kids to school and they would be safe. And the only thing that they getting at school is an education. They're not getting harassed, bullied. They're not being tempted to do anything. And these are the opportunities laid out for them. There's not one of them that would say, yeah, no, you know what? I'm going to keep it 100%. I'm going to keep it all the way real. And I'm going to stay right here with the homies. The only people who do that, idiots. Okay? Let's try to evolve past the stereotypes that everybody labels on you. One of the funniest things to me is, at the same time, if they would have went for a mortgage and they were sitting across the table from a loan officer and that loan officer were to treat them like the people that they portray and propagate in their music, they would have a whole ass problem with it. They would be sitting there talking about they're going to sue people and how it's not right and how you going to judge a book by its cover and how you going to judge me based on what you think it is and it's all prejudice, etc., etc., etc. Stop holding that out as though that's something to aspire to. If you get your money the wrong way, you put yourself in a position where somebody, just like with him, you have a man that can tell you where to go, when to come back. When you get your money the wrong way, no matter how much money you get, the real Rick Freeway Ross, the real one that was from California, he was making like $10 million a week. And you know what happened when the feds got tired of him and they decided to clamp down on him? They took every nickel that brother had and put him in a box. Don't propagate this and try to tell this to our kids. Would you want one of your kids to get involved with that? Would you be okay going to go see one of your children and hug on one of your kids in one of them boxes? I don't think so. So be the role model, be the parent. Lay that groundwork. I know it's hard to be a pathfinder. I know it's hard to be a trailblazer and create your own lane. But I would encourage you to do it because you do have a story that's worth telling. And this gangster shit ain't it. That's my take. Let me know what you guys think down below. My name is James. This has been My Take on Reality. And I'm out.